What are we going to find today as we move down the Severn Estuary? Hi everyone, today we're back on the Severn Estuary, but far nearer the mouth as it tips out from the inland waterways. And we are here with friends. No, not the gentleman behind. He's a carving that represents a form of fishing that's gone on here for well over 300 years. But today our friends are Mary and John. Here we go.
Hello!
And of course, Dusty the dog.
Mustn't forget Dusty.
Well, here we are folks, down on the beach, which is where we love to be. And we're going to do some searching and hunting. I can already see some bricks, which isn't surprising when you think that there's a tunnel that runs under here and they made 70 million bricks and took 10 years to build that. Interestingly enough, John was just telling me that some of the outline of buildings and things here was because the gentleman by the name of Mr. Walker, who actually was one of the project managers of the tunnel, had a bright idea. He then employed many of those tunnel workers to come here where he set up a boat building business. So that's not bad going. Talk about entrepreneurial. Well, let's see if Mr. Walker and his workers left anything behind. Or maybe the odd Roman that tried to cross over here. That would be good, wouldn't it? But whatever we find, we'll share it with you. So let's get looking.
Ooh, let's have a look at these workings where they're the foundations of the boat building place. There's not a lot left, as you can see, and the floors are gone, the walls are gone, but the foundations are still in place. And over here, I tell you what I've spotted. Some gorgeous old wood. Look at that. I'm not sure why there's wood in this bit. Perhaps they used to prop up boats so that they could do something on the bottom. I don't know, no idea. I've never built a boat, so it could be. And then they had easy access to the water when their boats were built. They could just float them off out to the estuary and out to sea. Very convenient. So as you can see, a bit bleak really. Not a lot to see here. But I think children would have a whale of a time running around these ruins and seeing all the different things and climbing on the walls. Just generally having fun. There are so many brilliant places to come in Wales. Look at that beach over there. Ooh, it's calling me. The golden balloons are saying, "Come to me, Caroline, I'm here. Come pick me up." Oh, look at this. It's a bit of a brick. It's a pointy brick. We're doing some sort of corner, I expect. And look down there. There's a crab. I'm not going to touch him, he's dead. And there's also a few crabs over here. Oops, they're very crunchy on the seaweed. Oh, there's one there. And one there. I can't see any more. I wonder why there are a few crabs there. All together. Can't see any more at all. Right, let's keep looking, see if we can find anything exciting. Don't forget, shout if you see something. Oh, there's another crab. And what's this? Oh, look at that spike. I reckon Phil would like that. What do you think? It's rusty and it's tarnished. It's good for nothing really other than looking at. Yep, I think it's the sort of thing Phil will love. Ah, what have you found, Mr. Johnson?
I have found that it's rather warm here today.
It's boiling, isn't it?
It is. God, there's hardly a breeze.
I got you a present.
Have you?
It's rusty.
Oh, I
and it's
love
tatty,
it.
so I thought you'd like it.
That's not tatty, that's patina.
Patina, very deep patina.
Why is Mary laughing when I say patina?
Did you laugh?
Why do I get the feeling she's not the only one that's laughing when I say patina?
I don't think she's alone.
That is a gem. Probably outranks everything I found.
Oh, let's have a look what you found.
I found little bit of...
Oh, nice. Bit of stoneware. Oh, it's glazed on the inside too.
Now, this at a distance held a sense of hope, but when I got there, it's a bottleneck that's been worn in the water.
It's a vinegar bottle, is it?
Possibly, because it's got one of those little pop-off plastic lids.
Oh, well, so it's certainly not ancient.
No, there we go. So yeah, as you say, I think there's a little hole in there, so that's probably pops on the top and you shake your vinegar out.
Right.
That would make sense, wouldn't it?
It would.
Ah, well, not quite Roman, but still. A little bit, just a tiny bit of probably,
flagon,
yeah, a little flagon. Few bits of glass.
Nice glass there.
Yeah, a little bit of tile.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm picking up today, which I like, is that is a boot, because there's the nail hole from when it was once on a roof, possibly of one of the old chapels around here, or maybe someone's house.
Could be.
And then a few other bits, that one. And I love this one, it's a really neat little piece. And another one.
And another one.
And then some glass and bits of china and things.
But let's see what's on your brick. Come on.
Now, the reason I picked this up, it's only half a brick.
It is.
But it is half of what John is searching for. Right, so it's only half a brick.
It is.
But it is half of a brick, which I believe John said he's looking for today, which is the London Brick Company.
Right.
So we ain't got a company, but we've definitely got an LB for London Brick.
Oh, well.
And do you know what? I got a feeling that's usable.
You think so?
It is. Look, it's perfectly dished. And look at that. I can hear Richard shouting soap dish as I look at it. But I have got 2 more pieces.
All right.
And I'm going to do the quickest game ever of plain or patterned.
All right, Mary, do you want a game plain or patterned?
Because there's only 2 pieces. So we're going to test Mary's skill. There we go, palm top, 2 pieces. What do you think, Mary? Which one do you think? Do you think it's plain or patterned?
Plain.
Plain, yeah?
Well done. Oh, there we go.
And what do you think on the other one? Do you
there.
think I go for a double bluff?
Plain.
Oh,
Isn't that nice?
That's nice. It's a draw.
There we
Well
go.
done to you both.
Thank you.
Look at it first. I don't
That's
know.
definitely.
Look at that. Mary's just found a bit of pipe bowl with some pipe stem on it. You can see the hole going up through the middle. It's a bit grubby, but it's there.
Yeah.
Wow, what a find. It's quite old because it's so tiny. Nice find.
Wow.
You're a genius.
Probably,
First one I found.
Yeah, well done.
probably 1700s.
Is it?
It's that
Yeah.
small.
Very
if you look,
nice.
if you imagine the bowl on that.
Look at that. That's
tiny.
impressive. Okay, what have you found? You found a brick. What have you got?
London Brick Company.
I found an LB12.
An
London Brick,
LB12.
Number
Well,
12.
I found LB. But it's only half a brick, so I've only got LB. Okay, we're going to venture that way toward the bridge that we're usually under, but we're not going to get that far, I assure you. But as we go along, why not join me over at the shed and see what's been happening back at HQ. Hello again from the shed. Today it's pipes. Yes, as you know, I do love pipes. Caroline is crazy about pipes. She loves pipe bowls, she loves pipe stems. If we find a whole pipe, then she's just in her element. But they're a rarity in this part of the world, down here in the valleys of Wales, at least for us. So we have had tremendous joy in finding some wonderful pieces when we've been travelling around the country, particularly when we've visited with Mr. Tom Burley, that lovely gentleman from up in Yorkshire. And I've got quite a nice display coming together here. Let me show you. Just up here on top of my desk, I've got my cabinet, my smoking cabinet. This was designed for a person that would have been smoking back in the day, probably 100 years or so ago, and they'd have had their pipes arrayed up here, similar to how we've done with some of those we found. And then there would have been a large jar here that would have contained their tobacco, and then they would have had other smoking paraphernalia and accoutrements in these very nice drawers. I love the handles on these, the way they took the trouble to have them totally recessed in, and then you just lift it up and just pull it forward. Now obviously today we've got little bits of treasures and bits and pieces here that have been picked up over time, different bits of pipe bowl, etc. And in the bottom here I've got some layer of sponge that allows me to display some lovely pipe bowls. There's a boot there. That's a lovely one with the little leaf on the bottom, little oak leaf, and that beautiful pattern around the bottom there, creating an acorn on the very edge. The bowl has become an acorn, stylized acorn, so that's gorgeous. We've got some lovely fluted pieces. We've got this one here, which has still got its little stand on it to stand it up. And there's various different types. That's the Order of the Buffaloes, the Royal Andaluvian Order of the Buffaloes, RAOB there. We've picked up a few of those. Just here we've got an interesting one because it claims to originate, I believe, in Dublin, but we can't prove that. Because they did have a habit of stamping that on just to make our Irish visitors feel at home. Here's another lovely one with the Irish connection there, the singing harp, as you can see on that side and on the other side there. That's absolutely beautiful. We love that one. And you know, you get all sorts, because here we've got a couple of characters on this pipe and they're having a game of football. And again, so they are on the reverse. You can see the ball there as they're going in for the tackle. So all types and sorts and sizes, from tiny pipes to quite large pipes. There's an O'Brien one there. This is quite a big pipe bowl. Look at the size on that. You know, that is massive compared to some of the others. You just put that alongside that one there and see the difference. And of course, the size is significant because it helps to date the pipes, because the smaller the pipe bowl, the older it is likely to be, because tobacco was far more expensive back in the old days, and then the price reduced. We've even got a church warden pipe here, and that was a gift from one of our lovely viewers who sent us that along with one or two other pipes, and that is an absolute treasure. But there's a particular pipe bowl that I want to pay attention to today. And that pipe bowl that has got my attention on this occasion, it's this one here, with the claw clasping the bowl. I love this particular piece, but it's not the fact that I love it that makes it part of the video today. Because as you know, I've got grandchildren. Yes. And this is a lovely gift that I had. Grandad's Workshop, 24 hours open. DIY King Handyman Tinkering Specialist. And just the other day, I had a visit here at the shed from one of my grandchildren. And I showed them my pipe collection and they were struck by this. They particularly liked it. But then, as children often do, they started to think of what could be done to improve this. And they dug through all the bits of pipe stem and they came up with this rather lengthy piece. And decided that it wasn't a bad match for the back and that it would look better on display with the pipe stem. Sadly, when I went to get my infamous glue, I came across a problem others have mentioned. It had been left in the shed for some time and it had gone, well, shall we say, rather solid. Yes, if I just show you, it doesn't want to come out. No. It does not want to come out because it is congealed around the brush. So that is not good. But today I have a new bottle with me. I'm just going to pop this together and see how it looks. And then perhaps if my grandchild would like it, I'll give it to them as a gift next time I see them. Let's just pop it together and see if this looks as good as they think it will. Well, I'm quite pleased with the way that's come out. No, it's not a correct match. It's a marriage. It's bringing two pieces together, but in the mind of my middle grandchild, that is how they'd like to see it. They'd like to be able to pick it up. They'd like to be able to hold it and see the end on display as it once would have been. So hopefully they'll think this is a nice gift when they next call to see me. Hope you've enjoyed seeing a little of our pipe collection here at the shed. But now, enough of pipes, enough of the shed. We'd better get back.
Under these trees you can see some of these sticky up concrete bits. Now I had no idea what they were, but John says they're the saddles for building the boats on. And they're more right the way along the edge there. So there we go, I've learned something. That is a saddle for building a boat, not for riding a horse.
I found a brick.
Have you?
I found 2 bricks.
Oh no.
Yes, and they haven't travelled as far as they sometimes do.
Right.
Because we've been as far west as Aberporth and found London bricks.
Yeah, let's have a
But
look.
I have a London brick.
Oh yes, London brick.
I'll pop that down there. And this one is the other half of the half.
Right.
I've got a whole one.
Oh, well done.
You see, we've got the LB,
Yeah.
and then the LB, and there's the number in the centre, number 12.
There you go. Oh, is that number 12, is it? Looks like a 31 to me.
Oop, turn it that way.
Right, so it's a 12.
There we go. And that one's coming home with me.
Oh, good. Oh, I saw the stripes and thought, is this slipware? I don't think it is, but look at that. What a lovely piece of stoneware. Got some stripes on it. I think it may have been off something square, like a floor tile. Or is that, looking at it now, is it the inside of a sewer pipe and the outside of a sewer pipe? I think I found a medieval piece of sewer pipe, which isn't quite medieval. Ah, well. Hello, Mr. Johnson.
Hello. Now, we have ventured over and we were preceded by John,
Yes, he beat
who's
us to
been a
it.
busy boy. And look at this display that he's created for us here. Look at
Oh,
this.
look at all this. Lots of bits of sea glass. The brown piece there, amber glass. Got some lovely bits of blue, that's my favourite. I like that. And we got some cream tile, some green tile. Oh, that's a nice square one. Oh, I like that. I wonder where that came from. Somebody's very posh house, I would say.
Do you want me to hang on to that one?
Yes, we'll keep that
Pop that in
one.
the bag.
And then we got some bricks. What
Yeah,
have we got
3
here?
variations I think on the first 3.
Star Brick Company.
Star Newport, and then another,
Star Newport.
and then we got a PRC.
PRC.
What are we thinking?
A
A little bit
no
different.
idea.
I think PRC may need further research, so I'll take
Yep.
him with me.
And there's this, which is a little piece of floor tile. And a log. John didn't put the log here, that was here all along. Here's a nice piece of old glass. It's green. It's definitely not Grolsch, it's an older piece. I'll put you down and see if you can see anything that's of interest. Lots of small bits of brick and lots of bits of rusty unidentifiable old metal. Lots of bits of white tile. And I do love these, look at this. It looks like a really unusual rock or a mini cake or a piece of candy, and it's just a brick with the cement still between it. And I like this one too, look at this. Isn't that lovely? All the different layers. I think that's so cute. And it's just a damaged piece of wall or something that's worn away. I just think it's pretty. Eee. Eee.
Well, that's definitely man-made.
Eee. Do you like my E?
I do indeed. I wonder what it said when it had more letters.
We can say it said anything because there's no proof otherwise.
I'd say the E was at the end of the word.
I think it says cake.
Yeah, that's because you've got cake on the brain.
This is true. Or chocolate.
Yeah? And when you haven't got cake on the brain, you're thinking about chocolate.
Yes. Now that's a nice rock. Do you think that's marble? I love the look on it. It's very green. I don't know if the camera is picking up just how green that is. It's lovely. And I found it on the way to there. Somebody has built a little causeway. So should we go have a look? See if there's anything exciting to be found further down on the mud. As you can see, it's very rough underfoot, so sorry if it's a bit bumpy. Whoa, look how rough and rugged this terrain is. All this cracked mud. It's like something off a lunar landscape. To see so much closer to the water, look at the scenery and the bridge, and to see what looks like a desolate landscape. But I'm not going any further. I can't see any interesting finds, and I just feel a little insecure on all this mud. It's really not that stable. So let's go back up the beach and join everyone. Got Mary over there waving with the dog, and there you've got Phil and John discussing something terribly important. Probably bricks. What have you found, Mr. Johnson? It's not a brick, is it?
Actually, I think perhaps you're psychic.
Do you think so?
Because I found a brick.
A bit wobbly, just a second.
Again.
Again, what have you found?
Actually, I found a brick, and it was a black brick with a step in it, and it was EH. So I went to my resident expert, John, who's on the beach with us today, and said, any ideas? And he said yes, because I've got a black brick with a step on it, but where you've got E1, I've got the other side, which is filled with cement on yours, and it says H. So I said, well, would you like the brick with E1 on to go with your H? And he said, I definitely would. And then he gave me this, because he'd found an oak brick.
Very nice. How are you saying that? Look,
there's another one there.
Brick there.
Yeah, another 3/4 there, look. And nice. It's interesting because something John told me was as we go along this beach, the company names change because they dumped at different points along the way.
All right.
So we're starting to find oak bricks, and I think that's a new one to me. So
I don't think you found one of those, huh?
That's going in the bag, which is getting jolly heavy. And by the way, while you're here, I can tell you, your E, it was neither chocolate nor cake.
Oh.
Because I don't know what it was, but as you can see, there's a few extra letters on that piece.
Tile.
That's a bit more boring than chocolate cake,
isn't it? Oh well, I don't want it anymore.
Oh, there you go then.
We've just come through this little quiet lane along this path, and look what's up the other side. It's the huge bridge with a view out over the water. There's Mary, there's Phil.
And there.
And look at that.
Look at this.
Oh, wow. That's gorgeous. Let's go around and have a look. Unfortunately, we can't get in because it's been fenced off. I can see why, because it would probably get damaged, but what a beautiful thing. You can see the arch. When you get to here, this is where the inside of the church would be. Absolutely gorgeous, look. And up there would have been the bell.
I'm forever saying history is all around us.
Planes are all around us.
Oh yes. But when we come to this part of the world, history is everywhere. And we're talking century after century. This chapel building dates back to around 1200. It's really of the same generation as the chapel we visited on Chapel Rock in another video. Check that out, that's well worth watching. And there was a ferry going from here back in Roman times. In fact, they found coins in the mud, Roman coins, which they believe were thrown in by the passengers in order to curry favour with the gods for a safe passage, because it was so dangerous here. There was a regular ferry, which is documented, that went from Wales to England, and that was in 1131, which is 90 years before the Earl of Hereford started building his castle in Caldicot. Now Caldicot, that is mentioned in the Doomsday Book. So we're talking 1,000 years ago. So many things. Now this ruin is on its last legs. There's not a lot left, but it still has a sense of presence. But come with me now to another ruin which really stands out from the crowd and is a little gem. Actually, it's quite a big gem. Welcome to Caldicot Castle. Yes, another castle. To say they are prolific throughout the borders of Wales would be an accurate statement, but each one has its difference, and the difference here is the development over the centuries has really put its mark here, and this is quite a beautiful place. But of course there has been a building stood here for over 800 years, watching out over the Gwent levels. Even just behind me you can see the beginnings of change, because this lower yellow stonework with its arches is then replaced as we go up by the darker grey, because the vast majority of what we're looking at today, in fact probably everything we'll see, is 13th and 14th century. Still a long time ago, but there would have been a castle in these parts from the times of the Normans when they first came in at the early 11th century. They would have had a wooden building somewhere around here that would have began that process of a defensive location to implement rule. But this began to become something different in the early 13th century. Yes, it was in 1221 that the Earl of Hereford built his stone castle here, and it stayed in his family for 150 years before passing by marriage to the Duke of Gloucester, who was also the youngest son of Edward III. Thomas Woodstock, the Earl of Gloucester, he lived through some troubled times in the 14th century. Of course, the Black Death, that was running rampant in the mid-14th century, but then in 1380 there was a law passed, the poll tax, and that upset a lot of people, led to civil unrest and the peasants' revolt. So Thomas decided he'd be better off going to some of his more remote residents, such as his castle here in Caldicot. And in 1381 he went on a building spree here and started to upgrade this into a place that he could call home. And among those major building works was the Great Gatehouse, which became Thomas's main primary residence, and in his day the perfect des res. Like so many of the great castles in the United Kingdom, it saw action during the English Civil War, and by the end of that war in the 1640s it was left in a state of dilapidation and began to fall into ruin. And now the sounds of battle long gone, it's the sounds of children playing on the lawn as they enjoy this wonderful surroundings during their summer holidays. But this actually was saved by an individual who was looking for a family home. It was in the 1800s that Mr. Cobb, a solicitor of some renown and success, who had a fascination with antiques, decided that this was where he wanted to live. And he set about buying it, restoring what he could, and then converting it into a family home. And it's for that reason, because of the works he carried out here in 1885, that this castle has got that kind of modern feel. Modern as in an 1885 kind of modern, because he didn't want to live in a drafty castle, he wanted to create a house and a home, and he certainly did that here, and what an amazing place to live. But of course his actions meant that he didn't fall totally to ruin. But the biggest twist in the tale, and the greatest irony of all, was yet to come, in the 20th century. Because in the 20th century, following World War II, when there was a massive shortage of low-cost housing, the local authority decided to convert the towers of the castle and to make them into flats for local people to live in. I see that as ironic, that a place that was built for those who had influence and power, a place that was known for its grandeur and opulence, became a 20th century solution to low-cost housing for local people. Somehow, I kind of like that circle of the story. But it didn't end there. The reason Caroline and I are in here today, the reason you can hear children playing all around, is because in 1963, for the princely sum of £12,000, the local authority bought the entire castle and set about opening it up for the people to enjoy. And for me, that's a perfect end to over 800 years of history.
Oh, look at that. Welcome to Caldicot Castle, open 11 till 4, Tuesday to Sunday. Free entry, so if you want a great day out, and it's going to be great if you come here, it is pretty impressive, then I'd recommend to pop along to Caldicot Castle. Ooh, there's the portcullis. Should we go into the castle? Do you want to come have a look? Go on then. Look at that ceiling. Pretty impressive. Ooh, there's a tower. There's a door. Should we go in? Hello. Please ensure all children are accompanied whilst in the tower. So we can go down. We can go up. And we can go in here. Oh wow, look at this. Isn't this fabulous? You can see all the old furniture. Oh, you can look out of the window.
The thickness on that wall.
That is a thick wall. What's that? 6 foot, 8 foot thick? Wow, it's a room. You could put a bed in there. Impressive. Oh, there's another window. Oh, wait a minute, there's a hole. Do you think that was maybe the toilet? You would sit on there and do your business. Ooh, I think I want a bit of a lid on it, though I don't think they sat on that big hole. It's a long way down. You could look out of the window and entertain yourself if you were a long time. There we got the fireplace and the chimney. And look at that, I like the light fitting. Very grand. And a grandfather clock. And it's great to be able to get this close to things. And there's nobody in here saying, don't touch, don't move that, don't look over there. It's a really nice place to come. Ooh. This is a steep stairs. And a bit of an echo. Let's have a look out of the window. Maybe at the top.
I want to get to the top.
She's our steep stairs.
Ooh, look, it's the bedroom. Got a specimen case here, probably I would imagine some taxidermy went in there at some point. And we got the baby's crib by the side of the bed. And another fireplace. But we can go up further. Should we go? What's up here? This is a good workout. Oh, look at this. This is the roof garden or the patio. Oh yes, I could live here. There's a view out of another very thick walled window. And another one with some ivy. And there's another stairs. Should we pop up another stairs?
Oh, it's going even higher. Oh my god.
Up we go. Lucky Phil isn't with us because he really doesn't like heights. It doesn't bother me, so I'm fine.
I can literally scream.
Oh, it's up again. More steps.
Why did I literally
Up we go. Oh, here we are. I would imagine that's for the flag.
Oh, yeah, actually at the top.
And let's have a look at the view. Whoa, that's pretty spectacular. This is the stairs going down. What do you think's down here? Do you think it will be a dungeon? You've seen the house, you've seen the roof terrace. Let's have a look over here. And look what we got there. The dungeon. I'm glad I'm not locked up in there. Not a very nice place at all. Look at this chest. I wonder what used to be in there. Do you think there was treasure in there once? Can we open it? No, it's sealed. I bet that has some exciting things over the years and it's got some wonderful stories to tell. Well, that's it. We haven't got time to hang around in here. We have to make our way back to the beach. So we have to leave Caldicot Castle behind, but I can assure you one thing. I'm going to come back because it's such a lovely place. And I think I'm going to bring a picnic. Hello, Mr. Johnson.
Hello. I'm going to go before you put me in the dungeon.
Okie dokie, good idea. What have you found, Mary?
What's a mudlark? Without ridge pottery.
Oh, look at that. Well done. Nice find, Mary. Congratulations. Hello, Mr. Johnson, and what have you found?
Scrap.
Scrap, and there's no surprise there.
Well, it's a change from bricks today, isn't it?
Let's have a look. Oh yes, I've always wanted one of those.
Isn't it? It's almost architectural. It's got that sense of, John used the word, a thing of purpose.
Yes.
You can see a bolt here, look. And a bolt here, but at angles, and that would have been a corner bracket. See what I'm thinking?
Yes.
Now I'm trying to think, what could it become? What could I do with that?
I can think of one thing. It begins with B and ends with N. I think there would be an I in the middle.
I could see, I could drill there and it could be a clothes peg, except for the fact that one would fall off.
That one, yeah.
So I've got to come up with something, but I just love
it. It is nice. It almost looks like a door handle, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite posh that side as well.
Just how nature has rusted it away is absolutely incredible. Its beauty, which is in the eye of the beholder.
This is true.
John picked up this bit of glass tile, which is so dark. You can
you won't see
get
through
a
that.
tint of blue on edges, but it's almost black.
Yep.
And then just a couple of little bits and pieces I picked up along the way.
Bit. Oh no, it's not. It's a bit of tile. I thought
we'd got some ridge pottery.
Oh, very pretty.
Mainly tiles, but I think they've come away with the building materials here.
Very nice.
Because although some of the bricks may have been in buildings for 100 years, people will have tiled them up until the 40s, 50s and 60s, and then the demolition happened and bits turn up on the beach.
Yep.
Who's flying over me?
I don't know, but look at those clouds over there.
Oh, they're pretty, aren't they?
Isn't that a beautiful sky? Look at this. This reminds me of being on Blitz Beach. There's not as much architectural salvage here, but look at that. See the point? That was on the top of a column or a pillar, probably off a gate or something like that. Yeah. Can you imagine how long it took to actually carve that? And here it is, just thrown away on the beach. I'm not taking it home though. It's rather heavy. Oh, give you a bit of perspective. There's my hand. John just spotted this piece of blue china. Oh, I tell you what, that's quite a big thing. I'm wondering if that's off one of those toilet tanks from the 70s. What do you think? It does look a little bit like those really weird coloured bathroom suites that were so popular back in the day, along with avocado.
My pieces aren't quite as big as the bit John spotted. In fact, they're all added together. They don't make one that
teeny
big.
tiny ones.
But would you like to have a go at plain or pattern,
Oh,
Vidya?
I would, yes. Please, so I'm going to go for plain.
Hey!
Oh, patterned. Plain. Yes. Patterned. Yes. Patterned. Oh. Plain. Ah!
It's all on this one. Draw or victory to me.
Patterned. It's plain. Oh no.
So it's over here. You
yes,
way.
it was a nice try. Oh, 4-3. Well done, Mr. Johnson.
A rare victory. I got
is. You
a
enjoyed
draw
it.
against Mary and a victory against Caroline. I tell you what, Black Rock is my lucky beach.
It is.
Now, this is a bit of a cheat
You're right.
because it fooled me at first and it fooled John for a moment. We thought it was a case of what is a mudlark without a piece of ridge pottery.
Oh, it's not ridgy.
When you feel it, there's no ridge. That's
No.
all done by the
Paint
pattern.
process.
Just the paint process has
Oh,
given that
very clever.
shadowed effect. Not clever.
Fortunately, we've already found a piece of ridge pottery. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a mudlark.
Oh,
Stop.
yes, especially now that one's escaped.
Oh well.
Coming down closer to the mouth of the estuary certainly is paying off. And if you'd like to see more videos of our visits over to this part of the country, check out the link up there. If you've enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up.
Doing, doing, doing.
And don't forget, share it with all your friends. Until the next time, have fun. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.